Hi there, and welcome to another episode of 70 by 70 Retirement Travels with Josh and Petra. Today I'm going to be talking about what I like to call travel hacking. It has to do with cutting costs in travel and how we're doing it. And the way that I'm going to talk about today is about using loyalty programs and how beneficial they are and useful they are in cutting costs while we travel. Hi, we're Josh and Petra, early retirees traveling the world slowly while sharing honest insights about retirement and life on the road. Join us and share in the journey. There are a number of types of loyalty programs. You've got credit card points and miles that you can earn when you use your credit card. Anytime you charge something on your travel credit card, they'll give you either points or miles. Points are generally considered for all sorts of different travel products, whether it's hotels or flights or other expenses. Miles are generally considered for flights only, but that's not always true. Airline miles, hotel points and nights. The benefits of these is they have shopping portals where you can earn extra points by using those shopping portals. Sometimes you can find discounted prices through these portals, plus then on top of that you're making extra points. And then dining, groceries, and travel where you're getting 2 to 3 times the point per dollar spent is another benefit by using the credit cards. And then there's transfer partnerships, and all the loyalty programs have some kind of transfer program of some kind. So then you've got residency booking loyalty programs, whether it's Airbnb, Agoda, Booking.com. There's another one, a new one called Gondola. They're all booking sites for homes, apartments, hotels, etc. that you can use. I don't know that Airbnb really has a good program for loyalty. It may be their rating system. Agoda usually gives you discounts with the more bookings you create and follow through on. Booking.com is similar in that way, that a program that will pay you over the more times that you book with them. And Gondola is the same way. Gondola is, like I said, something new, and it has to do with more of the high-end apartment/hotel availability. In our case, Gondola is probably not something that we'll be using too often because we will be on a budget, but I did want to kind of include it here as something I just learned about recently. So then you've got an additional portal that you can use called Rakuten. I think a lot of people are familiar with it. It's a shopping portal. They offer discounts, percentage back, cash back on what you spend at different locations. And then that cash back can come to you in the form of a check or can be dispersed to you in another way. In the case of us, we intend to use the Amex Platinum, which I have, so that any spending that we do on sites with Rakuten discounts, all that cash back will come to us in the form of points on the Amex card. And then those points, once they're on the Amex card, we will distribute through their transfer partners to take advantage of them. So generally, when it comes to points, they have what they consider, or what people call values of each point being worth so many cents. And in general, credit cards have the higher point values. So the points you earn on your credit cards tend to be more valuable than the points that you earn while flying or the points that you earn at hotels. So, and it kind of goes in that order, where credit card points are the most valuable, airline points are next, and then the hotel points are at the bottom. It's not entirely true. There are credit cards that are a bit weaker than others, and then there are hotels that are stronger than airlines, and etc. There's a couple of different websites that I follow. One's the Points Guy, and another one is the Frequent Flyer. They both have their valuations of their points, and I find that they are almost identical. And so if you have another site that you go to, you're welcome to make a comment in the comment section about that. I'm always interested in learning about different ways to think about my points. So if somebody's already been participating in that, let me know what I'm missing out on. So one of the hotel chains that we're going to be taking advantage of is called IHG. They have what I would consider a really good program for developing loyalty. For instance, I was able to get their highest level, which is the Diamond status or Diamond Elite status. I got it within 7 months this year. And generally, you're supposed to stay for 70 qualifying nights or earn 120,000 elite qualifying points. And you get these elite points based on how much you're spending during your stays at the hotel. So I didn't get the 70 qualifying nights. I was there for 20 nights total. And I really only did that because I wanted to get a status upgrade to give you, so suite upgrade, that's what I'm trying to think of. If you reach 20 days, and then you get another opportunity for that, I think at 40 and 70 or something like that. But after 20 days, every 10 days, there's another bonus, some kind of perk that you get to choose from. You also get a couple of different opportunities to purchase points with IHG where they do 100% match. And I would recommend to anybody who wants to stay at IHG hotels, this is something you need to do because cost-wise, you will be paying a lot less for these points than it would cost you to earn them over time at the hotel. So please take advantage of that. At a later point, they have free lounge access where they're feeding you more than you get breakfast and like a dinner in a private suite that is for lounge access people only. That is also for the Diamond Elite people, and it's not at every hotel, but it's a number of hotels they have. The other thing with IHG is most places, not all places, but most places have complimentary breakfast, which is a nice feature. I think in America we take for granted that it's at all hotels, but it's not really the case. And you see that more often overseas. Another hotel that we're going to consider using is the World of Hyatt. Their highest level is Globalist. You have to stay for 60 nights and build up 100,000 base points in order to be a Globalist. The Globalist perks include the lounge access, just like I was talking about with IHG, they have a lounge access, or complimentary breakfast at their properties. It includes suite upgrades, waiving resort fees, and then bonus points that you can earn. Instead of getting a 1-for-1 bonus, it looks like they're giving you an extra 30% on your bonus point or your base points. So you can kind of grow your points there with them faster too. The one thing that's nice about World of Hyatt is they have kind of a tiered system for their hotel rentals. So they start at as low as 3,500 points per night at their what they call tier 1 hotels, and I believe they go up to tier 8, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it's 1 through 8, where I believe 8 is 50,000 points a night for their award nights. We currently don't have any points with Hyatt, but as I'll illuminate later, we technically do. I haven't created that yet. World of Hyatt is a real popular destination, mostly because they tend to be the higher end. Another place that we're considering using, another hotel group, is the Hilton group. With them, it's Hilton Honors. The highest status used to be Diamond status. That's the status that I think if I'm going to earn any, that'll be the one that I earn. They have an Elite Diamond status, but the requirements on it are awfully high, and since Hilton is already my third or fourth choice of hotel, I'm probably not going to see Elite status with Hilton anytime soon. But you earn the Diamond status by staying 50 nights or 25 stays or spending $11,500 US in 1 year. There are, let's see, you get perks of double points So you get 2 points for every dollar spent at that level. You get an executive lounge access. You can have space available, room upgrades, and food and beverage credits towards breakfast or for just food. And then you get a guaranteed room within 48 hours. We currently do have points with Hilton. I was going with Hilton first. I really like their Hampton Inns, and I think a lot of people in the United States would agree with me. You're welcome to comment in the below if you would agree that the Hampton Inns are actually fairly nice. They're reasonably priced, very comfortable, and not too expensive. Now, Hilton can get very expensive, and they do dynamic pricing, so it allows them to change the prices on their hotels and rooms depending on demand. It's not the best system if you're a budget traveler like I am, because you're trying to find a good price point, and while the Hampton Inns were at the right price point, when you get up to the higher echelon hotels within their group, it gets to be kind of expensive and is really out of my price range. What I had to do, I stayed in Spain, in Barcelona, at one of their boutique hotels that they are affiliated with, and it was pretty expensive. I think I bought about 250,000 points or something like that, and I used all of them for just 2 days at this boutique hotel, which to me is a lot. That was a large investment. Now, there's probably others out there that are watching this thinking, oh, that's nothing, Josh. I've gone through, 400,000 or 500,000 in a couple of days. And that's true, because some of their hotels are so high end that they are going to charge that kind of price. So just be prepared for that with Hilton. And the last group that we're going with is Wyndham. When Petra and I were in college and didn't have really any money at all, we were getting the Wyndham hotels. The Super 8s were actually our favorites at that time. Periodically we would stay at Wingate, I believe it was. They're the long-term hotels, like week-long stays. Nice hotels, comfortable. Certainly when we were starting out in our hotel life living, it was more than acceptable. I am going with it though, because they have a lot of hotels overseas, and they use a great system for deciding how they do the awards. So their award program is based on 3 different tiers. You have 7,500 as the low tier, that's 7,500 points, and 1,500 or 15,000 as the middle tier, and 30,000 per night for the high tier. And you can find some real bargains at Wyndham hotels in key places. Just as an example, we just recently were looking at Prague and staying in Prague for about 12 days, and we're like, oh my gosh, there is nothing here that is within our budget. What can we do? And that's when I started looking at the hotels, and I found one from Wyndham that was 7,500 a night, and now all of a sudden it's 90,000 points, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a bargain compared to any of the other chains that were offering 30,000 points a night with IHG. The price point was just right. So in 12 days we're going to be spending about, what is it? I think I calculated about $550 to $600 over 12 nights, which is about $50 a night, which is insane for a city. We are literally 5 minutes walk away from Old Town. And we get breakfast served to us too. So I mean, what a great steal that was. And more importantly, we booked it at a time during the Christmas market. So I mean, it's just crazy to think that we were able to book this, because we were looking at other Christmas markets and it was astronomically higher than that. So having those Wyndham points really paid off. And that's the thing about these hotel chains, is you just want to make sure that you get an opportunity to buy at a time when they're matching at 100%. That really drives down the expense for you, and you get more value out of those points in the long run. So the Wyndham program isn't particularly spectacular, but they do have this tiered system that really cuts back on the costs for you in different locations, and we're going to take full advantage of that, especially in Europe. So as I said, we're trying to earn points to save money, and so one of the things that we're we've got the Chase Sapphire Preferred. That was something that I got a 125,000 point sign-on bonus last spring. I'm not sure where it is now. It might be higher, might be lower. Those are great points to have. I'll talk about more specific in the future here. I also got the Amex Platinum. I got it at a time, I was very fortunate here. I got it at a time when they were offering 175,000 sign-on bonus for that. So I got that. And the great thing about the Amex is you can transfer it to a number of airlines and hotel groups, including Hilton and Marriott with the Amex. And of course, the big thing that they advertise, and something we've already taken full advantage of, is getting into the airport lounges. The card gets you in, I believe it gets 2 people in for free. I may be wrong. You feel free to comment in if I've made a mistake about that. But I believe it's 2 people for free to each lounge, and I've already used it like 8 times. And it's about $35, $40, sometimes $50 per lounge. So we've already gotten a fair amount of the annual fee back just from that. And then I have the Capital One Venture cards. Capital One miles can be also transferred to airlines and hotels. And in this case, it really well does one-to-one with Wyndham, who I was just talking about. So that works out well for us too. Plus with the Capital One cards, the Venture cards, you get 2 points for every dollar spent, which is a nice additional bonus compared to the other cards where it's one-to-one unless it's a specific thing. And then all these cards have travel portals where you can either earn more points or get more bang for your points that you have with the cards already. All right, so what we have so far, what I've earned so far, I have been doing the 100% match with all the different hotels. IHG, I've done that 3 times now. 3 times, and I'm up to almost 1 million points by myself. That's a big deal. We don't expect to use IHG too much in Europe when we travel, but when we get to Asia, we are of the understanding there is numerous places to go and use those points. So that'll really cut our costs, our monthly costs, and that'll make travel a lot easier as slow travelers. The Hyatt card. So currently, like I said, I didn't have any Hyatt points, but all those Chase points can be traded one-to-one. So, I already had 125,000. I've since earned another 50. So at this point, at least, I've got 175,000 Hyatt points that I can use. And that converts to about 12 nights at $255 a night. That's how much those points are worth right now. So that's really useful. And then we've got Wyndham, and I've got approximately 400,000 points that I bought through Wyndham on their match program. The points themselves cost 0.65 cents each, and they're already reaping dividends. As I mentioned, we've already booked a hotel in Prague for very little. So Wyndham will be a big deal for us. Flight-wise, in order to save money, again, we're gonna be using the credit cards. The Chase and the Amex travel portals are also an opportunity to save some money. And we have a United card, so we'll have points with United and their whatever group that they're with of airlines, so we can use that for flights as well. And Amex, I think they give you 5 points for every dollar you spend with their card on airlines that they are affiliated or transfer partners with. So that's another perk of using that. One thing I did want to point out, a lot of people use Google Flights for finding all the flights that are going from one place to the other, and that's a great site. I have to admit, I started out with, I believe it was Kayak or something like that, and found that Google Flights is actually much more comprehensive at finding all of your flights and being able to do, multiple cities or one-way flights, things like that. One of the things that I kind of ran into, just I think by accident, it may have been through one of these points websites, was this addition. It's like a Chrome add-on. It's called Points Path. And if you get the free version, it'll let you know the points that it might cost for an upgraded seat or even for an economy seat versus the cash amount for 5 different airlines, and then you can pay for like the premium, and I think they cover like 16 different airlines or something like that. We're just doing the free version right now, mostly because they've got United in that group of 5, and it's been very useful finding flights that way, because we've been able to buy flights with points at times when we previously would have paid in cash, and the points have saved us, spending money on locations where we're headed. The last thing I wanted to mention was there are some additional loyalty point benefits out there that we will hopefully get a chance to take advantage of. IHG has elite night year-end rollovers. So when let's say in my case, I'm at Diamond, and any night past 70 nights that I've stayed is considered an extra night, and that will be rolled over to the next year. So I can, if I stay for 90 days, 20 days will get rolled over for the next year, building my loyalty level up for the year after. So that's something to keep in mind, that their loyalty program extends. You're working on it this year, it's benefits for next year, and then year beyond that if you go past a certain number of days within your group, within your tier. Off-season is a great time to stay in hotels versus apartments. We're probably going to be doing more hotels in the wintertime than we will be apartments like we have in the summertime. Another thing is, again, we got points and miles transfer partners with credit cards. And then you also have hotel and airline point and mile purchasing. And anytime you can get close to 100% match is the ideal time to buy. It's not always possible, not every company does it, but if you're following like Frequent Flyer, they send out a weekly message of all the deals that are going on that are out there, and so that's a great way to monitor when things are coming up and take advantage of them when they do. All right, well, if you found this information interesting and you'd like to know more about using points in the future, or if you have any comments for me, please put them in the comments section. I'd be happy to respond to them. If you like the content of this video, please give me and 70 by 70 retirement thumbs up. And if you're new, please go ahead and click on the subscribe button. And if you really enjoyed the content, feel free to click on that bell and to get future notifications of future YouTube content. So thank you for joining with me today, and I will see you in the comments.